Hi, I'm Cora. I never thought I'd be sitting in a police station at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday, trying to convince an officer that I wasn't the one driving under the influence last Friday night. But here I was, staring at a mugshot of my sister Melissa wearing my clothes and giving my name. Miss Tanner, are you saying this isn't you? Officer Martinez slid the photo closer. That's my sister Melissa. She's wearing my jacket, the one that went missing last month. And apparently she's also wearing my identity. I leaned forward. Officer, I was working the night shift at Memorial Hospital. I'm a nurse. There are dozens of witnesses, security footage, everything. Officer Martinez nodded slowly. We'll need to verify that. Your sister gave your name, address, and even knew your driver's license number. That's pretty thorough. We look similar enough at a glance, and she's lived with me on and off for years. My phone buzzed. Mom, again? The third call in 20 minutes. You should probably get that, he suggested. I stepped into the hallway. Mom, I can't talk right now. Cora Elizabeth Tanner, what are you doing? Mom's voice crackled with tension. Melissa just called me crying. She said you're at the police station trying to get her arrested. Mom, she used my name when she got pulled over drunk. There's a DUI on my record now. I could lose my nursing license. She made a mistake, Cora. She panicked. A mistake? She stole my identity. Lower your voice, Mom hissed. She has 3 kids, Cora. 3. If she gets a DUI, she could lose custody in her divorce. Jacob's lawyer would have a field day. So I should just take the hit? Ruin my career? It's just points on a license. You can take defensive driving courses. Melissa's entire family is at stake. I pressed my fingers against the bridge of my nose. I have to go. Cora, please. I hung up and returned to Officer Martinez. Everything okay? He asked. No, I said flatly. But I'm going to fix it. I need to file a formal statement that my identity was stolen. That's serious. You understand this will likely result in charges against your sister? I understand completely. My phone buzzed again. A text from Aunt Vivian. Your mom just called me ranting. What's happening? I texted back. Can you meet me for coffee in an hour? I need someone sane to talk to. Of course, sweetie. Usual place? Yes. And Viv? Don't tell Mom or Melissa. An hour later, I slid into a booth across from Aunt Vivian, my mom's younger, significantly more reasonable sister. You look terrible, she said, sliding a latte toward me. Thanks. I feel worse. So what's this about Melissa getting a DUI using your name? I explained everything, including Mom's pressure to take the fall. Vivian's eyes widened. Diana actually asked you to do that? To risk your license and career? She says it's just points on a license versus Melissa losing her kids. Bullshit, Vivian snapped, then lowered her voice. Sorry, but that's ridiculous. You worked too hard for your nursing career. And Melissa, this isn't her first rodeo with bad decisions, is it? No. Remember when she borrowed Mom's credit card for that spring break trip? Or when she took your college application essay? I nodded. Or when she dated my prom date behind my back? Cora, honey. Vivian reached across the table. Your whole life you've been cleaning up Melissa's messes. When does it stop? Today, I said, surprising myself with my resolve. It stops today. Vivian drove me to Melissa's house. My sister's minivan sat in the driveway next to Jacob's SUV. Want me to come in? Vivian asked. No, I need to do this myself. Jacob answered the door, his expression shifting from surprise to discomfort. Cora, hey. Is Melissa here? In the kitchen. Look, she told me what happened. Did she tell you she stole my identity and now I might lose my nursing license? His eyes widened. She said it was just a mix-up with IDs. That's not what happened, Jacob. He glanced over his shoulder. The kids are watching TV. Please don't make a scene. I'm not here to make a scene. I'm here for the truth. Melissa appeared behind him, eyes red but defiant. Jacob, take the kids upstairs. Mel, maybe you two should. Now please. He hesitated, then nodded and disappeared. Melissa crossed her arms. Mom called. You're really doing this? Doing what, Mel? Not letting you ruin my career? Not going down for your DUI? Yes, I'm really doing that. It was one mistake, Cora. I had 2 glasses of wine at dinner with Jacob to discuss custody arrangements. The officer was on a power trip. The report says your blood alcohol was twice the legal limit. Those tests aren't accurate. Stop lying! I fought to keep my voice down. The officer said you had my license. How did you even get that? She looked away. I may have borrowed your wallet when I visited last month. Borrowed? You made a copy of my license? I was scared. Jacob's lawyer is building a case against me. A DUI would give him everything he needs to take my kids. So you decided I should lose my career instead? Did you even think about what this would do to me? It's just points on your license. It's a DUI on a nursing license. I could get fired, Melissa. I'd never work in healthcare again. Jacob appeared in the doorway. Is that true? Melissa spun around. Jacob, go back upstairs. No, he said firmly. Is what Cora's saying true? Would this affect her career that seriously? Yes, I answered. Nurses with DUIs often lose their licenses. At minimum, I'd be put on probation, possibly suspended. Jacob stared at Melissa. You told me it was just a mix-up, that you accidentally gave Cora's name because you were nervous. I was protecting our family, Melissa shouted. By destroying your sister's career? Jacob shook his head. This isn't right, Mel. So you're taking her side now? Melissa's voice rose. After everything she's done? What have I done? I demanded. Name one thing I've done except bail you out over and over. You've always been the perfect one. Cora the nurse, Cora the responsible one. Do you know what it's like living in your shadow? This isn't about our childhood. This is about you committing a crime and trying to frame me for it. The doorbell rang. Jacob went to answer it. You have to drop this, Melissa hissed. For the kids. No, for once you need to face the consequences. Jacob returned with Officer Martinez. Miss Tanner. The officer nodded to me, then turned to Melissa. And Miss Tanner as well. I need to speak with you. Melissa's face went pale. About what? We've confirmed through security footage that your sister was working during the time of the incident. I need to ask you some questions about the information you provided during your arrest. The living room felt charged with tension as Officer Martinez sat across from Melissa. I stood by the window while Jacob paced nervously. Miss Tanner. Melissa, Officer Martinez clarified. The officer who pulled you over noted you presented a driver's license identifying yourself as Cora Tanner. It was a mistake, Melissa insisted. I was flustered and gave my sister's name accidentally. You accidentally knew her driver's license number and address? I interjected. Cora, please, Jacob warned. She's right, Officer Martinez said. This doesn't appear accidental. We have the body cam footage showing you presenting identification with your sister's information. What happens now? Jacob asked. In addition to the DUI charges, there are potential charges for identity theft and providing false information to a police officer. Melissa's facade cracked. You can't do this to me. I have children. You did this to yourself, I said quietly. Your own sister, she spat. You'd really see me arrested? Have my kids taken away? I asked you to come clean, Mel. You refused. Your sister filed a formal statement this morning, Officer Martinez explained. She's made it clear the license and information used were taken without permission. The front door opened, and Mom burst in. What is going on here? Cora, there's a police car outside. Mrs. Tanner, Jacob started. There's a situation. Diana, Melissa cried, rushing to Mom. Cora's pressing charges against me. She's trying to take my kids away. Mom turned to me, aghast. Is this true? After everything we discussed? Mom, she stole my identity. She was driving drunk and gave police my name, my license number. It was a mistake, Melissa sobbed. Officer, Mom turned to Martinez. There's been a misunderstanding. My daughters want to handle this privately. I don't, I stated firmly. I filed a formal statement. You can withdraw it, Mom insisted. I won't. Melissa's tears vanished, replaced by cold fury. You always were a selfish bitch. Mel! Jacob exclaimed. No, let her talk, I said. Let everyone hear who she really is. You think you're so perfect, Melissa snarled. Saint Cora who never makes mistakes. I make plenty of mistakes. I just don't make others pay for them. One time, I ask for help one time. This isn't the first time, Mel. My whole life I've covered for you. The credit card theft, the college essay, even my prom date. Ancient history. And now my identity? My career? Where does it end? Mom stepped between us. Girls, please, Melissa, apologize to your sister. I'm sorry, Melissa said mechanically. I was scared and made a mistake. I'm sorry, Cora. Please drop this. I looked at her tear-stained face, then at Mom's pleading eyes. For a moment, I felt the familiar pull of family obligation. No, I said finally. Not this time. Melissa lunged toward me. You ungrateful! Jacob caught her arms. Melissa, stop. You're making it worse. Officer Martinez stood. Ma'am, I need you to calm down. Calm down? She's destroying my family and you want me to calm down? Melissa wrenched free of Jacob's grip and shoved a finger in my face. I swear to God, Cora, if I lose my kids over this, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Is that a threat? Officer Martinez asked sharply. The room fell silent. The courthouse hallway buzzed with quiet conversation as I sat beside Aunt Vivian, waiting for Melissa's hearing to begin. 2 months had passed since that confrontation in her living room. You okay? Vivian squeezed my hand. Yes. No, I don't know. I'd rehearsed this day in my mind, but now that it was here, my emotions were a tangled mess. Mom approached, looking tired. She's asking to speak with you before they start. Why? Please, Cora, just for a minute. I reluctantly followed Mom to a small conference room where Melissa sat with her lawyer. Her normally perfect hair was pulled back simply, her face without makeup. 5 minutes, her lawyer said, leaving us alone. Melissa looked up. Thanks for coming. Mom insisted. They're offering a plea deal, she said. Reduced charges if I plead guilty to the DUI and identity theft. I nodded. That sounds reasonable. Reasonable? She laughed bitterly. I'll still have a record. I'll have to do community service, probation, alcohol counseling. All things that should happen when someone drives drunk. She leaned forward. Cora, I'm begging you. Tell them you want the charges dropped. That you forgive me. I can't do that. Can't or won't? Her eyes flashed. Jacob's already using this against me in the custody hearing. That's not my problem, Mel. Not your problem? Her voice rose. They're your niece and nephews, who I've barely seen because you only call when you need something. So this is revenge? Making me pay for not being a good enough sister? No, this is consequences. A knock at the door. The lawyer poked his head in. Time to head in. In the courtroom, I sat with Vivian while Jacob and Mom sat on opposite sides. Melissa stood with her lawyer as the judge reviewed the plea agreement. Miss Tanner, do you understand the terms of this plea agreement? Yes, Your Honor, Melissa answered quietly. And you plead guilty to driving under the influence and identity theft? A pause. Yes, Your Honor. The judge turned to me. Miss Cora Tanner, as the victim of identity theft, do you have anything you wish to say before I accept this plea? I stood. Your Honor, what my sister did wasn't just identity theft. She was willing to destroy my career to save herself. I'm a nurse. A DUI on my record would have ended everything I've worked for. She knew that and did it anyway. Cora, Mom whispered loudly. I continued. I don't want revenge. I just want my sister to finally understand that actions have consequences. After the hearing, I stepped into the hallway. Mom approached, her expression tight. Are you satisfied now? Your sister has a criminal record. She earned that record, Mom, not me. She might lose partial custody because of this, because she drove drunk and committed identity theft. Mom shook her head. I raised you to stand by family. You raised me to take responsibility for my actions. Maybe you should have taught Melissa the same. Jacob approached cautiously. Cora, I wanted to thank you. For what? For standing your ground. The kids need to see there are consequences. even for people they love. How are they doing? Confused, but they're resilient. He hesitated. Would you consider visiting sometime? They miss their aunt. What about Melissa? Would she be okay with that? Honestly, she's furious. But she doesn't get to dictate who the kids see during my custody time. They ask about you. What did you tell them about all this? The truth in age-appropriate terms. That Aunt Cora loves them, but needed to make sure Mommy follows the rules too. I nodded slowly. I'd like to see them. Maybe next weekend? They'd love that, especially Emma. She still has that stethoscope you gave her. I'd like that. As Jacob walked away, Vivian joined me. Ready to go? Not yet. I watched Melissa exit the courtroom, surrounded by her lawyer and friends. Our eyes met briefly across the hallway before she looked away. Now I'm ready. Outside, Vivian asked, Do you think you'll ever reconcile with Melissa? I don't know. Maybe someday she'll truly understand what she did. And your mom? I sighed. That's more complicated. She spent a lifetime enabling Melissa. And a lifetime taking you for granted, Vivian added. What's next for you? I smiled for what felt like the first time in months. I'm transferring to the pediatric unit next week. New beginnings. Do you regret any of it? Vivian asked, watching me carefully. Standing my ground? No. The family fallout? Yes. I stared at the courthouse steps. But sometimes the right choice isn't the easy one. That's what makes it brave, she said, linking her arm with mine. I'm proud of you, kiddo. We walked to the parking lot in comfortable silence. My phone buzzed with a text from a fellow nurse. Heard about court. Team celebration tonight? I replied. Definitely. I'll bring the non-alcoholic champagne. Would Melissa ever understand why I couldn't back down this time? Would Mom ever stop favoring her? I didn't know. But for once, I'd put myself first. And somehow, that felt like the most important victory of all. Have you ever had to choose between family loyalty and your own well-being? What would you have done in Cora's situation?